but I heard everything that went on.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
Yep.
All right, everybody ready?
Yep, ready.
All right. Time is 6:45. We're gonna call the January 16th RDC meeting to session. Roll call. Doug Smith,
Here.
Jeff Beachy,
Here.
Kathy Burke,
Here.
Greg Dolsky's here, Kathy Antonelli, clerk treasurer,
Here.
Mike Yoder, town manager,
Here.
town marshal Steve Cream,
Here.
legal counsel Alex Bowman,
Here.
absent Dean Renfro. All right, approval of the agenda. Looks like we have elections.
Yeah.
Anyone have a nomination for RDC president?
And nominate Doug Smith.
I second. Take that to a vote. Doug?
Yes.
Jeff Beachy?
Yes.
Kathy Burke?
Yes.
Greg Tulsky's yes. Congratulations, Doug.
Thank you.
He doesn't sound very. Well, you know what? We didn't even need his vote to win it anyway.
All right, do we have a nomination for vice president?
I nominate Jeff Beachy.
Okay,
Not that I'm missing you.
I'll second. Okay, so anyone else? All right. Do we need to vote for nominations? How does this work? I can't remember how it worked. For
Yeah.
nominations.
Yes,
Yeah.
because they're
Okay.
officers.
Doug Smith?
Yes.
Oh, I guess, do you vote on your own name?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jeff Beachy,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Greg Dolsky's a yes. Congratulations, vice president and president.
Okay.
All right, we have a nomination for secretary.
I nominate Greg Tuholsky.
I'll second that.
Okay. No other nominations? Doug Smith,
Yes.
Jeff Beachy,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Greg Dolsky's a yes. All right, looks like I'm the secretary.
Yeah.
Anything else? Do you make the appointment then, or?
Just for the record, I am automatically treasurer just because of statute.
Okay,
And we also have appointments, don't we? Or
We have the
already
school
did. Did
board
we already do
appointment.
those?
We did that.
We already did the appointments?
No, we didn't for this year.
The school board is valid through, it's either March or May.
I think it's March. Yeah, it's
So-
appointee.
What about
And
the
I'll
other?
reach out to the school board to see if they have, or even realize that there's a position coming open.
Don't we have another
the library.
one or two?
No, it's just.
The library is something
Okay.
separate.
Okay, didn't know that.
Okay, move on to the approval of the minutes. Everybody have a chance to read through the minutes for 12/19/2024.
Yes.
Yes.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes from 12/19/2024.
I
All right.
second it.
Motion by Jeff, second by Kathy. Any questions or discussion? All right, take to a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Jeff Beachy,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Greg Dolsky's a yes. All right, reports, Mike.
Actually, it's our town attorney.
Oh, sorry. Yes. I just saw town and reports.
Jimmy? Yeah. Hey, Jen.
All right, Alex.
Thank you, Mr. Holsky. The resolution that is before the RDC this evening is Resolution 1-16-2025-1, which is a resolution of the Town of Bristol Redevelopment Commission approving the acquisition of real property. As the RDC members will recall, at the December 19th meeting, there was a discussion about the acquisition of the additional Stoll property. We had a discussion about the appraisals for that property, the propriety of it, et cetera. At the 12/19 meeting, there was a declaratory resolution that was adopted to amend the Consolidated State Road 15 economic development area to include that property so that TIF dollars could be used for that acquisition. The council will essentially vote on that this evening. So this is the resolution of the RDC approving the acquisition of that property in accordance with the real estate purchase agreement in a form similar to the real estate purchase agreement that will be subject to potentially some negotiation on terms, but that's attached to this resolution. It's a purchase price of no more than $145,300. And that would be paid through the TIF 130 is what's recognized in the resolution. So this is the authority that the RDC needs to begin the negotiation to acquire that property. Happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Where, which property? I'm confused because we already owned the Stoll House.
The lavender patch.
Yeah.
Oh, the lavender patch.
The old lavender. patch.
Okay, all right, now you're making sense. Okay,
Right.
sorry.
Now, my understanding of it is though that's the Lavender Patch is the entity doing business there, the property owners would be the Stolls.
Yes,
Okay, that I,
previously the lavender patch.
I didn't realize that. Thank you.
Make a motion, we adopt resolution 1-16 2025 1, a resolution of the town of Bristol redevelopment commission approving the acquisition of real estate.
All right, motion by Jeff,
I'll second.
second by Kathy. Any other questions, discussion? All right, take to a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Jeff Beachy,
Yes.
Kathy Burke.
Yes,
Greg Dolsky's a yes. Motion carries.
Thank you, members. We can begin the, to the extent that there's any negotiation that needs to be done with the purchase agreement, that's what we have in place. We'll go from there. Thank you.
Okay.
And that's all I have for you.
All right, I guess we're on to RDC discussion items. Doug, do you have anything?
Nothing.
Jeff, Jeff, anything?
No.
Kathy?
no,
And Greg has nothing. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Let's make a motion, we adjourn the RDC meeting.
second.
All right, motion by Jeff, second by Kathy, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thursday, January 16th, 2025, we will call this meeting the Bristol Town Council to order. We'll start off with the pledge of allegiance. Well, let's see, Dustin, will you lead us tonight?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well,
Battery's low.
do a roll call. Start off to my left, Doug Smith. Here. Kathy Burke,
Here.
Greg Dolsky,
Here.
Jeff Beachy is here. Absent from the council is Dean Renfro. Clerk Treasurer Kathy Antonelli,
Here,
Town Manager Mike Yoder, Assistant Fire Chief Jimmy Haynes.
Good evening.
Good evening. Town Marshal Steve Pring.
Here.
And Legal Counsel Alex Bowman.
Here.
Okay. So have I had a chance to review the agenda?
Yes.
Yes.
Do we have any questions or are there any changes or additions?
I need to add a spend bridge agreement to my section, please.
Okay. We'll put that under, that'll be A for you. Spend bridge. Okay, any other changes, additions? Fine, no, not the agenda will stand as modified. Next item, approval of the invoices. Everybody have a chance to look at the bills for the month?
Yes.
Mhm.
Is there a motion to approve the bills?
I'll make a motion to approve the invoices.
Okay, motion by Doug,
I'll second.
second by Greg, open for discussion. No further discussion, we'll take a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Greg Dolsky.
Yes.
And Jeff Beach is a yes, motion carries. Next item, approval of the minutes. We have minutes from December 5th and December 19th of 2024. And for January 2nd of 2025. And last but not least, for the January 14th work session of 2025. We had a chance to review those.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, is there a motion to approve all four sets of those minutes?
I make a motion, we approve, those minutes.
Okay, motion by Kathy,
I'll second.
second by Doug, open for discussion. No further discussion, take a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Greg Dolsky.
Yes.
And Jeff Beach is yes, motion carries. Okay. Moving right along, get into reports. So Mike, you're gonna start us off tonight. What do you have for us?
There's a couple SRF disbursement requests for you to approve. First one is engineering fees. 48,667, 48,666, 48,667. You're right. So I think there's a breakdown if you want to look at it.
Okay. And did everybody have a chance to look at it beforehand?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I make a motion that we pay, disbursement request SRF number 19 for $48,667.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Kathy, second by Doug, open for discussion. No further discussion, we'll take a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Greg Dolsky.
Yes.
And Jeff Beach is a yes, motion carries.
Second is pay app number 6 to Crosby Construction, and that's disbursement request number 20. And you can see we're making a payment to the contractor and a payment to our retainage fund. By the way, this represents about 26, I think, percent of the payments that are due, 27 maybe, but they're a little bit further along, a little over 30%, I think, or something. And I'll have some pictures and video in my reports on the project
Okay.
from. They are pretty much on schedule. We're a little bit behind on the walls that they're just starting to build, but they're a little bit ahead elsewhere, I guess. So they still plan to be done on.
I have a question. I'm confused on the figures between the agenda sheet and what we're seeing up here. The one says disbursement request number 20 for construction pay number 6 for $746,292.82. But then it says contractor is for $746,978.18, and the retainage is $39,000. So exactly what is this one?
That's correct, but we have to round up for the SRF distributions, remember?
Yeah, but round up to what? I mean, to the dollar, or
There's a typo on the
there must be.
agenda.
there's got to be a
All right.
typo here.
Yeah, what's on your sheet on the wall is accurate.
See this?
I see that.
Okay, so the figure at the end of the first line of number
This is
2
correct.
is wrong. On the
What's on
agenda,
the screen?
on the agenda, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
That one's not.
Right.
Okay, just wondered. Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve SRF disbursement request number 20 for Crosby Construction for pay app number 6 in the amount of $746,978.18 and $39,314.64 to retainage?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion by Doug,
I'll second.
second by Greg, open for discussion. No further discussion, we'll take a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes,
Greg Dolsky,
Yes.
and Jeff Beach is yes, motion carries.
Jeff, can I have your signature on the green tab?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Next, we have an SRF disbursement to Niblock. However, Kathy found some discrepancies on the form, so are we delaying both requests until the next meeting?
No,
Number
the
14 can go.
14 can go, 15 I'm questioning and have reached out to JPR, but was not able to connect with them before the meeting.
Okay, so we are seeking approval of the SRS disbursement request number 14 for JPR for engineering fees. This is the water project.
So we're passing on the first one for Niblock.
Yeah.
number 13.
Mhm.
Okay, so is there a motion to approve SRF disbursement request number 14 for JPR engineering fees in the amount of $50,372?
I'll make that motion.
Okay,
I'll second.
motion by Kathy, second by Doug, open for discussion. No further discussion, we'll take a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes,
Greg Dolsky,
Yes.
and Jeff Beach is yes, motion carries.
And we're working with JPR. We should see a sheet like this going forward for both JPR and Commonwealth on the projects.
Okay,
So we have a couple other columns we're gonna add to this one, so it's not quite where we want it. But you should see that going forward.
okay. It'd be nice to see it all in one sheet. Okay,
Okay, next up, following I think our work session is a true work session. It's what those are designed to be. It's a
Yeah.
great conversation on the holiday pay issue, compensation issue. So if you will go to that, Steve and Jill and I worked to create something that we can understand simply tonight. Part of me wants to test my understanding of this by explaining it, but Steve, you're here. Maybe you should. Work through this.
gosh.
I don't have that in front of me other than on the screen.
Well, okay, let me explain it then. Dustin and you can tell me if I've got it right. So we looked at it from two perspectives. One is just a policy issue, and the goal is to eliminate the holidays from the police department's work schedule. So the current policy is explained how the holiday compensation occurs, and it incurs comp time. So that's what we'd like to eliminate. The current budget cost for that current policy is the 44,900. So the first option is, where we come up with, everybody works a holiday, it's straight time, holidays, same as any other day. And they're paid straight time, no comp time is accrued, but we create a stipend of $350 per holiday for each officer. So everybody receives the same amount for the entire year, and that's paid the first payroll in December. Budget impact is 45,500. So almost exactly what we're paying now. Option 2 is the same concept, except we personalize the stipend to the employee. So an employee that's been here a longer time and has a higher salary will receive a higher stipend, where the newer employee will receive a lower stipend. And that impact is 47,794. So far, so good?
You're doing a great job.
Then I'm stopping. So those are the three that we've got. And if you like it, choose one of those. If you want to modify, I guess that's your prerogative as well.
Did they get the document that I produced today, or that we were talking about this morning?
No, because I wasn't sure if you
Okay,
wanted that
that's
or not, and that would have listed each
Each
officer.
officer and how many, for our current schedule, like, and it's the best we can come up with, because we don't really have an experience because of the number of officers we had before in shortage, so I can't go back to last year and said, this is how many holidays we work, so,
Yeah.
we have a 11-man tentative schedule that we'll be working on this year, so we want to use those numbers as far as the number of officers working each holiday, whatever. So I broke it down on the sheet, and that's where that $44,951 came in. That's what we're gonna end up paying this year to, we just keep the same way we're doing things.
Yeah.
That really impacts our schedule. It's hard for the guys that are doing the payroll every 2 weeks, because it's in comp time that gets converted over to pay. Our payroll program doesn't do it well, so it makes mistakes. They end up having to correct it or manually do it. So we spend a lot of time every couple of weeks doing this. The other thing is just scheduling for holidays is difficult.
Yeah.
I would rather just, and I'm not trying to eliminate holidays like the Grinch. I'm trying to just take the word holiday out of our schedule, use it like Mike said, a stipend at one-time pay, for everybody gets it, whether they work it or not. That way we don't have to worry about schedule wise, because I don't want a short schedule holidays. I'd rather have extra work in if I can.
Yeah.
But still retain at least something similar to the benefit they're getting now. So that's kind of where we're at.
Okay. So what's the consensus of the team on?
Well, it's one of the, if we go with the first option with the straight pay everybody receives, what was it?
350?
350, it's not gonna impact our budget, I mean, other than a couple $100, whatever. The more senior officers that are at a higher rate of pay per hour are gonna be losing some. The ones from the bottom up, the newer officers will be gaining some, so it's kind of an average of, our top paid and bottom paid. So, at least the ones I've talked to, the more senior guys are gonna be losing some pay. The way we do it now, they understand and would be okay with it. I mean, obviously, people don't wanna give up, anything that they have, but I think this is a reasonable compromise for what we're getting in return.
Okay.
But
Well, I'm gonna look to you, Dustin, because you're one of the senior guys, so your thoughts on it?
Like option one, like I'll just speak of my own personal salary. I mean, it's about $2,500 a year that I will lose.
Okay.
If with that option. The option two, I would still lose compared to working the 13 holidays, because I usually work pretty much every holiday with the Monday through Friday schedule.
Yeah.
I would lose as much, and then it would be the senior guys that do make more money, usually are working during the holiday or on the holiday.
Yeah.
Where the other guys, their days off fall on the holiday, so obviously then they're not working on that holiday.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to give a little bit to try to make it easier to manage the comp time, because it, I mean, well, they did it every year, we have 4 holidays that just
Yeah.
inundate us with comp time to pay out or manage and get rid of.
Do you guys do a holiday rotation, or it just is
That's,
falls with your work week?
It just, with your schedule, I mean, some guys are scheduled with Sundays and Mondays off, but kind of reading the policy and the salary ordinance, which follows the policy, it's more of an office space where it's Monday through Friday. You don't work on the weekends, and then, even with the holiday, the way it's written, if the holiday falls on Saturday, well, then we observe it on Friday.
Yeah.
So in our line of work, if you're a younger guy, you're probably gonna work on a Saturday, and you're like, well, Christmas might rotate around to me, but then comes to your day, it's gonna fall right back to.
so that was my question, are we saying that it may be, 2 or 3 years before a certain person even works on a holiday? Because it may be, say, in 2025, one of the guys may never even work on a holiday. Yes, I agree, they need to get, holiday pay, that's not what I'm saying. But actually, would they be scheduled to work on a holiday?
I did a breakdown with the schedule for every officer, like myself, my holidays fall on every single day, so I would
Yeah.
work 13 holidays. Sergeant Durnay would work 13 holidays. The lowest number was, there was one officer that would work 7 holidays, and 6 of them fell on his day off, so he wouldn't even get that benefit.
I see, okay.
So
Yeah, that's-
we kind of advertise, you get 13 paid holidays, so that's kind of a thing, but then you come in and, well, my schedule is now this, well, I only get half the holidays now. I don't even get the opportunity to get any benefit.
Well, that's like Thursday in 2024 was Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah,
And the thing is, since we observe the holidays like the town side does, which is Monday through Friday,
Yeah,
so the guys might have to work on the town Christmas, but actually it falls on a Saturday, and if you follow the calendar, eventually you're gonna have Christmas off,
Yeah.
if we follow the calendar side, so it makes it a little difficult for us to manage this also because of how we observe. We're following the town's policy as far as Monday through Friday, which I call bankers hours, no. But we don't work bankers.
Right.
So.
Call lawyer, attorney.
option 2 was the one that I suggested, where what's the pay time and a half, and what's the pay straight pay, it was an in between number, so it was the 1.25.
Yeah.
Which then would give the senior guys more money, but the senior guys are the ones that are still gonna be working on those holidays.
Yeah.
And such. But like I said, the other one is just a lot easier to manage.
I know after I watched the work session, I went into Wakarusa and I went into Middlebury to see how many holidays they have. And we are in line. I know Middlebury, I think, says 12. I don't know what the odd, I think Martin Luther King Day they don't have or something like that. But I'm not sure. Wakarusa, and then I was trying to see how they handled all of this. And basically, they're saying, and my computer's dead. I swear. What they're saying is basically like number 2. Is they do it on a stipend thing, and that they do it by a percentage of the irregular hour rate. So that's what I discovered when I was looking it up.
And you will see, like Dustin said, he works all the holidays, he's scheduled to work. And then if the graph I came up with, you go down to our less senior officers, they don't work as many days, and that is because of we are observing the town side holidays, what they recognize.
Yeah.
Because normally it would be the younger guys would be working weekends and stuff, so it would be a little more consistent with, not everybody's working every one, and then the younger guys would be working more, so I think this is a good way to fix some of these problems.
I personally like number 2. I mean, there is not, and we don't want to go by, public companies or anything, but 99% of the time, those companies are going by a percentage. Or an hourly, like a 1.5 times or hours or something.
So
like
with option 2, would that change each year? based on salaries?
It would, because it's based on their
Hourly rate.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
But I mean, we could still, one of the things I like about changing it, I can budget. Right now,
Yeah.
I'm not sure, I mean, yes, the hours are fixed, but then all the other, it's tied in my overtime line. Eventually, I'd like to be able to have a line just for the holiday pay, it's budgeted the prior year, we know what it's gonna be. It's easier to manage that way, but we would know what the raises would be to tie into next year's budget, so I think it would be very easy to figure it out.
Yeah.
It'll be one with option 2.
Okay. Yeah, cause there was a lot to wrap your head around on Tuesday. There's a lot of numbers going back and forth.
But the term holiday, I've said so much, I almost feel badly about that now, as I do the Matrix, so.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a little, about $3,000 more to do it option 2 than we're currently doing, which I don't think is gonna break anybody. I think it's manageable.
But administratively, some of the burdens go in.
Yeah, the
Big
burden,
time.
And you won't see the comp time numbers get as high.
yeah,
And I did the stats for, and gave her of how much comp time was accrued just from the last 4 holidays that we had.
Yeah.
And it was, in what, we paid out 222 hours.
224 hours.
That it were
Yeah.
from the holiday.
yeah,
And only 2.5 hours was actually overtime work, like late reports or getting late call or something, so.
Yeah.
It just really impacts our overtime and.
I don't have to, like you said, administrative, I don't have to manage that, we just, that's
Right.
paid at the end in one check, we don't have to worry about it.
So you're asking for a motion to change the policy at this time?
Change the policy, and basically it's salary ordinance, I believe.
Yeah, that'd be the next step. So it's option 1 or option 2, and option 1, you could also say a stipend of $200. You know, you can, Dustin didn't hear me say that.
No, I know,
But that's your
Yeah.
option, so it's between the simple 350 or doing the calculation based on. option
Yeah.
2.
I make a motion, we accept option number 2 for holiday pay for the police department.
I'll second that
okay,
motion.
motion by Kathy, second by Doug, open for discussion. I think I like the fact that we're getting rid of the comp time factor,
Yes.
because it's.
Yeah.
I've never agreed with comp time, because it's just so subjective.
Well, and you end up
And it's-
short of officers
Yeah.
sometime because they're trying to catch up on all the comp
Right.
time.
Yeah.
It's not good.
But maybe just the point to make is it doesn't, this adoption, this policy wouldn't eliminate comp time as a concept.
Correct.
Correct.
It eliminates it for
With
holiday,
overtime.
on the holiday days, yeah. Okay. Any other discussion?
No.
Okay, now we'll take a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Greg Dolsky,
Yes.
and Jeff Beach is yes. Motion carries.
I will point out the actual numbers will be slightly lower because we already have had a holiday, January 1st. So this year, moving forward, if we can get this, we were hoping to get it done for Monday, which is a holiday. There'll be actually 12 paid instead of 13.
Okay,
So the number will be
this
just.
New Year's
slightly
already
lower.
done. Yeah. Okay,
Thank you.
yes, thank you for working through that. I know that was
Yes.
not easy. So I like this option that we came up with, so. It'll make Dustin's life easier.
Good.
From an administrative standpoint.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay, so next, now that we've accomplished that, we can amend the salary ordinance. So there's 2 changes we're making. One is to the language that establishes the holiday stipend. And the other was the small adjustment I needed to make to Caitlin's salary. That was like, how did that red get in there?
Well, somebody didn't take it out.
It wasn't there when I uploaded that. Anyways, we'll get that fixed. It's, yeah. we'll get that fixed. That number didn't change. It was just down at Caitlin's. So it was just between Tim and I when we, whoops. Yeah.
It's a shadow file
Undo
on what
that.
you had there before, because it was read before.
Yeah,
for
it's
some
just
reason,
interesting, it didn't show up
the
on the
color-
original document.
I like those and just.
So anyways, we had increased Caitlin's salary because she was taking on some additional duties, but I don't know, someplace between Tim's spreadsheet and mine, I under inputted the number, so that's been corrected. And so I asked, so first of all, we want to do this in one motion, so Alex will lead you through that process. The motion should be to adopt, including language that we had specific language, but we were guessing you were going to choose option one.
Aha.
So you want to adopt the new salary ordinance that includes the new holiday stipend pay for the police department. And we'll insert that language as we work with our HR folks.
And you said the other one was what then?
As the
Caitlin.
correction to Caitlin's hourly rate.
Yeah, this is all,
Yeah, I guarantee you I fixed that because I spent a couple hours fixing that chart this morning. I'm not sure where that came from. But...
yeah.
Well, wait a minute, go clear to the top.
I don't know, right?
Yeah, that's the one. It's got the right amendment. So it's,
You've got this line in here only for 4 lines.
no, I guarantee you
And
that's
somehow
not
that-
on the original. I guarantee you.
So, because you've got stipend for the council,
What's that?
or is that,
Well, that's the current, that's
Oh, that's
what
the
you're
cur- oh,
paid.
okay.
You are paid a stipend for
okay,
your generous service to the
I think,
community.
yeah. It's 1 week of your salary, isn't it? We
What,
get
of
paid.
mine? Yeah, probably.
We, the board, has not had a raise in what, 15 years?
Since-
Yeah.
not 15, we had raises before,
We have?
yeah. Not since
Okay.
I've been president, though.
Well, the president always gets more.
You wanna be president?
Sorry, they've been there, done that.
Okay, so, the ordinance number is on the agenda, that's 116/2025-2, so you're amending the salary ordinance.
Okay,
But first, we want to make sure we do it in one reading.
So maybe let's first address the question of the holiday language. What I'm thinking, I'm not aware, and perhaps this goes to maybe more the comfort of council than not. I'm not aware of a prohibition on the council making that change to the holiday pay retroactive to January 1. I don't think it would be precluded.
Is pay already gone out?
It's already done. I think we're planning on going forward. Is that correct, Jill?
Right, and
Yes.
the new policy is gonna be like a prorated.
Yeah.
Okay,
for the 12 instead of the 13.
Well, anyone incoming or leaving, it's gonna
Oh.
be prorated.
okay, so
So-
effective, so you want it to be effective as of the date of adoption,
Correct.
not of the
Right.
date certain.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay, all right. So. But we don't have that language just yet.
No, that's reason, we just need approval to adopt option, the language to adopt option 2.
Oh, okay.
We can foresee you reading.
Yeah, option 1 was simple. I have the exact language. We don't have the exact language for option 2, so. But if that's what you want, so we'll just insert that. If we wait until the next meeting, then we've got another holiday to deal with. That's
Well,
the reason we're trying to do it tonight.
that's what I'm thinking then too, is, okay, what if it's retroactive to today's date?
Why can't we just do it this way?
I want to.
Thank you.
I'm a little uncertain about,
Because pay date is next week.
well, yes, but I mean, as far as the language itself, if we're amending the ordinance with a blank space that says language will be inserted, it's difficult then for the council to vote on what that language is supposed to be to constitute a valid amendment to the ordinance. That's what I'm trying to work around.
Trust me, doesn't work.
This, right here would cover what we're in this first paragraph, instead of timing out, it'd be 1.25.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Steve makes the point, I mean, the language is probably just this little paragraph
Yeah.
Yeah,
here.
It's in lieu of holiday pay. Full-time sworn-in police officers be provided with a stipend defined by that language.
defined by option 2.
You might wanna put, non-exempt.
Yeah.
That way you're not including my,
Full-time, non-exempt, sworn-in police
I mean,
officers.
I'm
So we had this language from our HR folks. That's the reason it's written this way.
So in other words, all you'd have to do is take the language you've got, add the word non-exempt, take the bottom part out, insert option 2.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Okay. I mean, I think that if the record is clear as to what that language is, I think that can be an oral motion to adopt that, to amend what's proposed here to include that. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So if someone wants to make that motion to amend amended salary ordinance,
To read such and such?
correct, yeah, 1/16/2025-2,
Right.
to include that language,
See if I can figure it out.
and then
If I
we can
read
adopt
your
it all
handwriting.
in one.
That's Jill's writing, so you
Oh.
can read that.
Okay. Okay, so I make a motion that we amend the salary ordinance for section 4, holiday pay. Is that what you want me to make that section for holiday pay? For police officers to say. In lieu of holiday pay, full-time sworn in and exempt police officers will be provided with a stipend in the as in the paragraph below, which is option 2.
non-exempt.
I said, yeah, non-exempt police officers.
exempt.
You say exempt.
Oh, did I say exempt? I meant non-exempt. Oh, my.
The other thing that needs to be included is the civilian thing, which is the way we currently do it, so
Okay,
that should be part of that salary ordinance.
and so I don't know, Kathy, if this
And
language
two-
is what you're looking at here, there's language that says eligible civilian, full-time, non-exempt employees will receive holiday pay plus wages at a rate of time and 1.5 for the hours worked on the holiday, which I believe is,
Okay, but civilian is not police officers.
Right, and it's Ashley's possession, and it's gonna be
Oh,
handled
I
the
see
exact way
what
it
you're
is now.
saying.
She follows the same rules as what the town side does. She gets the day off without losing her pay for that day.
Yeah, and I agree with, and I add exactly what Alex just said.
all right. I think the point of order then would be to Kathy, from your standpoint, is the record clear as to what the motion is seeking?
If I have a recording, it will be clear.
We do.
Then I'll be good.
And I think then to the council members as well, I mean, the motion would be pending if there's a second. So I think that would be appropriate then to
Okay.
call for the second, address any questions from there.
Okay, Kathy made a motion. Clears could be motioned. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Kathy, second by Doug. Open for discussion.
For clarity as well, this is an amendment to amended ordinance number 1/16/2025-2, which is the
Salary.
ordinance that's before you this evening.
Don't we need to suspend the rules?
Not yet.
Okay,
We'll make this change to it first, then we'll suspend the rules, and then we'll adopt it.
okay.
Adopt salary ordinance.
Correct.
Because we're just making the motion to amend. Okay, all right. So-
Sidebar.
This policy rules.
Sidebar.
This is.
I'm sorry. eligible.
For the record, there's been federal legislation that was murky.
Okay, yeah,
Is this addresses and submit
Okay.
ordinances that swore?
okay. Do I need to repeat it?
No. Please no. Okay, any further discussion? If not, we will take a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes,
Greg Dolsky,
Yes.
and Jeff Beach is a yes. Motion carries.
All right, so with ordinance 116/2025-2 as amended, in order to adopt this evening, there needs to be a motion by the council to we refer to it as suspend the rules and adopt on or enact on first reading. And so I think that would be the appropriate motion. This needs to come in two parts. The motion to suspend the rules to enact on first reading needs to be unanimous. And then from there, pending the result of that motion, then it would properly be before the council to vote on enactment.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we suspend the rules to adopt on first reading salary ordinance number 1-16-2025-2
As amended.
as amended.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion by Jeff, second by Doug, open for discussion. No further discussion, we can vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
yes,
Greg Dolsky.
Yes.
And Jeff Beach is a yes. Motion carries.
Now,
Now,
the motion to adopt on, we'll call it enact to clarify, enact on first reading. Ordinance number 116-2025-2 as amended.
okay,
sounds good. I'll make that motion.
okay. Motion by Kathy,
I'll second.
second by Greg, open for discussion. No further discussion, we can vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes,
Greg Dolsky.
Yes.
And Jeff Beach is a yes. Motion carries. Okay, a lot of work.
That was fun.
That was.
To add to that, we will also add that we won't, we'll
Okay.
make that simple, but those changes we make to both.
Okay.
Well, that was, okay, are we ready to move on?
I think so.
Even more fun stuff.
Kathy, I'll get this back to you.
So, Jeff, I have a couple pictures in the packet. We could go there first.
Yep. And header down there.
So the water project, not much has happened on that. We do expect the water tower folks to show up at any time, start work on the new water tower, the foundation stuff. Actually, I thought they'd be here this week, but they are not. At some point, when the weather permits, we'll begin, installing that water line. We need to go under the river yet, and along the river roads, that start at some point. This week, what you're seeing there, if you move up one picture, we have one crane that is lifting a second crane into where the 3 SBR tanks will be. So that was the big one crane lifting another crane in. If you scroll down, the next picture is the crane on the inside, and is up and established. And I hear that Tim wants them to hang a bucket from that and swing him around in a circle. So,
Can we take a vote?
I think Jimmy's raising his hand to volunteer for that one.
so this will be used to set forms for the walls of the SBR units and get material in and out.
Okay.
Now, Jeff, if you will give me control, we have a 2-minute video that's a time. That is a time lapse video. And I want to make sure.
That's a lot of rebar.
I'm gonna make sure well, hopefully our live stream folks can see this. All right, here we go. It's got some rock and roll music or something to it. 15 hours of work. What this represents.
Very cool.
It's impressive.
So do we get a price break because it's generating promotional materials?
Good question.
Good point.
But no, actually, in our update meeting today, they shared an interesting story that I believe is the first load of cement that arrived. That every load was tested and it didn't pass the test. Apparently, they were getting too much sand in the mixture, and that was a problem with the solenoid at the plant. And they had to shut the plant down to replace the solenoid. Once you start, you don't stop this project. So I think they were bringing trucks from South Bend in here to keep that project going. It was 72 loads that day. Do you remember the number, Jill?
Wow.
And about 15 hours of work from beginning to end. What's that?
10 yards of load.
I believe so, yeah. Yeah. A lot of cement,
Yeah,
a lot of cement.
that's a lot of concrete.
So that's my project update.
Nice. Did Commonwealth do all the
The video work.
video work, the drone work?
Yep.
Nice.
And we'll have some of that with the water tower construction as well. JPR is doing that.
Nice. Okay.
So at the end of the project, we'll see from beginning to end. That'll be really,
Expensive video.
yeah. I suppose. I don't know. All right, that's all I have tonight.
Okay.
Question.
Thanks for the update, Mike. Any questions for Mike? Did we get things figured out with the snow plowing and
Yes.
sidewalk clearing?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. I'll make sure we stay on top of that.
Yes.
I know it's cold and it's not fun work, but and what did you say? Banker's hours?
That's gonna haunt me, but. I'll look back.
Okay. Kathy, you know, spend bridge update for us?
We do. Alex had time to review the agreement and we shot a proposal back to Spenbridge. It is a 3-year contract initially. We were concerned with what the rates might be going forward. So he added, not knowing what the fees might look like in 3 years. We would like to add this agreement will automatically renew for a successive 1-year term. And then current fees for services until terminated as provided herein. However, the annual access fee per customer for any renewal term shall not be increased by more than 10% from the prior year. And they agreed to that. So I have a contract for you to sign.
Okay.
So to give some context to that, I think the initial quote was significant.
12.
And through some
12.
negotiation, it got cut in half, and then with the language that says it'll renew at then existing rates, well, that could be quite a shock.
Yeah.
Year over year. So it was, thank you for sharing that language with them. I'm happy that they accepted that.
Mhm.
I think that's a good way to help protect the town from the cost of that service increasing significantly year over year.
Okay, good.
Council already agreed to approve that based on legal.
Just you, I think.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else, Kathy? Okay. Anybody have anything for Kathy?
No.
Okay. If not, we will jump over to Steve.
Okay, I've got our statistics for December, and then I'll give you the yearly totals. And just to let you know, I'm gonna try to change the format of this a little bit, so next time you guys get an email for this month, it may look a little different, but I'm
Okay.
trying to combine, it's a little redundant in a couple places.
No problem.
Traffic enforcement, this month, we wrote 38 citations, and 29 warnings. Yearly totals for that were 436 citations and 421 warnings. Calls for services, 483. We had a total for the year of 4,490. Calls, 307, for the month, and 2,933 for the year. Vehicle crashes, this month we had 9 property damage accidents we investigated, 1 personal injury, 0 fatal, 2 leaving the scene. Accident investigations for the year, we had 88 property damage crashes, 8 personal injury accidents, 0 fatals, and 8 leaving the scene. As far as criminal enforcement, this month we took 38 case reports. For the year, we took 424. Cases that included arrest, immediate arrest for 4 this month and 57 for the year. We didn't have any OWI cases this month. We had 14 for the year, and then misdemeanor ones, and 3 other ones were felony. This month we had 1 possession of drugs or paraphernalia arrest, and for the year we had 24. We impounded 3 vehicles this month, and we had a total of 67 for the year. Miles driven this month, 16,638. Yearly total, we drove 129,000 miles, 718. The criminal cases, kind of to summarize those, 38 cases, 4 of those were closed by immediate arrest, 2 were thefts, 1 possession of controlled substance, 3 burglaries, 3 warrant arrests, 1 intimidation, 1 criminal mischief. We're continuing to investigate cases from the previous months. I think we went over the traffic enforcement, so that's our totals for the year. And this last month, as far as the ordinance, this last month, he wrote 1 abandoned vehicle citation, 18 illegal parking issues, 5 sign violations. And of those 6 totals, 6 were initiated by citizen complaints, and then 24 were code enforcement initiated. So, and then he's got yearly totals on that, I think, graph that you guys got.
Okay, yeah, yep, he does.
So I'm gonna try to next month combine both of them, so you're not getting multiple pages. It's a lot
Okay.
easier to look at.
On those, the sign violations, are those the telephone poles?
Like the lazy
Stuck
boy
it.
signs that
Yeah.
we got, so,
I see Temple Tree was around town.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does a really good job with the signs, and so.
Yeah.
He's definitely out and about.
Yeah, I saw there was a couple out on County Road 8 out towards Formula Trailers. That Temple had like 3 or 4 of them out that way, so.
I was really surprised at all those lazy boy signs that we picked up in December.
Yeah.
We had them in the garage, we called them a couple times, you talked to them, they never came and picked it up, so they are gone.
I just pitch them, yeah.
Yeah.
They did third-party advertisers, so it wasn't Lazy Boy that did it.
Yeah,
They had somebody do it, so they're probably not real interested in going back to get them anyways.
well, from my experience when I was doing ordinance at Goshen, they would hire like college age kids to go out, they give them all the signs, and then they go out, and usually the easiest points to put them, you see a bunch of them in one area, and they don't spread them out too.
That's the way they did that's exactly what they did. They put like 4 within a 10-foot space.
Yeah,
So they were just planting them all at one spot.
so, but they're kind of becoming a nuisance, you're seeing them not only here, but all over, it's.
Yeah.
I guess a quick and easy way to advertise.
Okay. All right.
And other than that, I don't have anything.
Okay. Thank you, Steve. Anybody have anything for Steve?
No.
Okay, if not, thank you for what you do and your staff, and we pray that you guys stay safe. Jimmy,
Good evening.
good evening.
Chief Kansas on call. couple calls. He's the primary paramedic tonight, covering a person calling in sick. Nasty crap going on, so.
Yeah.
He's off taking care of folks, and
Okay,
here I am.
okay,
All right, so our review, for January 2025 report here, in December. Or not December, I'm sorry. For 2024, we ran 1,124 calls. We had 4,665 responses in January, or actually, I keep saying January because it is. For the year, we responded to 103 calls in December. And we had 402 responses in December. Staffing, we hired Clayton Corbin. He is a certified firefighter EMT. Clayton lives in Elkhart now, but grew up here in Washington Township. He just lives outside, which was just outside of town here north of the river. His mother still lives there. Good kid, been with us for several years. He's come a long way. Young, but he's learning.
Good.
That's good.
Good.
We're still short one full-time paramedic, so as always, we're still looking for anybody that's certified and wants to come to work. Additional stuff, we've had, we started 2025 off very, very busy. I don't know if you guys have been hearing us go. We've had 7, 8 runs, something like that today, alone just today. And we had just as many yesterday. As of January 16th, we've had 59 calls. So already for the month, 59. 2 of them being pretty major structure fires. One was east of town, and we had garage fire last night. So
the one east of, that was on 120, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what about the one north?
last night was a garage fire
That garage fire.
up over by the total of 323.
Are those
Okay.
have anything to do with like gas heaters, electric heaters, anything
the
because of the
fire-
severity?
120 was from garage fire. We're
It's
still
that time of year.
still undetermined on the garage fire. State fire marshal was called on both to help out with the investigation.
Okay,
Having an uptick of people during the fire state, driving to the fire station, with a medical emergency, instead of them calling 911, they'll just get in a car and come to the fire station. Yeah, I just thought I'd come here instead of calling for you guys to come to my house. So that's picked up quite a bit.
Surprising.
This cause for concern because on 3 of these, our crews were already out on calls. So if we're out on calls, the folks decide to come to the fire station, either nobody's there or Jen's there. And we had one today, just like that. We were at the library. The crew was at the hospital. I was at the library for a gas leak. And as we were there, somebody drove themselves with chest pains to the fire station. Luckily, Jen was there. So, and then thanks to the police officers, Adam Grenay, he was at the library with me, and I asked him if he would go to the fire station to be with Jen until our mutual aid showed up. He did so. Definitely appreciate the help like that, because poor Jen's not certified in anything yet, so.
Do you think it has to do with people that were maybe afraid of the roads? Like if they're gonna drive to a hospital, instead that they would be afraid of the driving on the road, so they do whatever's close?
To drive to the hospital, but by the time they get into town, the pain or the problem's gotten worse, so they'll just stop at the station.
I see.
It's hard to say. We've
Yeah.
got folks that live in Michigan, by where Wendell lives.
Uh-huh.
Through there, got a few folks there, that don't wanna call Michigan EMS, cause they don't know where they're getting it from. Life Care comes from, could be 3 hours away in Michigan, seriously. So
My
instead of
goodness.
them waiting, they drive themselves to the fire station. We've got several, we get that about, 6, 7 times a year. People from
Really?
Michigan
Wow.
drive to us because they don't wanna have to wait. Can't blame them.
Well,
No. So unless they're staged in White Pigeon, the ambulance is in White Pigeon, they're waiting.
you got Three Rivers about the closest hospital up there.
Yeah, but the ambulance isn't staged, that Life
Yeah.
takes care of all of Michigan, so it just
Really?
depends on where they're staged
Wow.
at that point in time, yeah.
wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Michigan.
Weather.
Yeah, weather, no, so we call the fire station, please just call 911, right? We had that today as well. Jen and I, we had a fire engine that was at the shop in Mishawaka. We were getting ready to go. Jen and I were gonna go because everybody else was out on calls. The phone rang. Jen picked it up before we left, and I heard her say, hang up, call 911. So they did. So then we started running calls again. But we get a lot of people that'll just call the fire station and say, hey, I've got a smoke alarm going off. I got a carbon monoxide going off. Or sometimes they'll say, I have a fire, or my husband can't breathe. Then they'll call the fire station instead of calling 911.
Maybe they think it's quicker. I don't
And
know.
it's not.
It's
I've
not.
timed it from by the time I get off the phone to when they're actually dispatched, there's at least a minimum of a 5-minute delay.
Yeah, my granddaughter's 911, so
There is a little lag.
it's, you know,
It's just, they've got to call 911 anyway. 'Cause
Yeah.
We tell them, look,
That's
okay, we get
weird.
their address, their information.
I never
When
heard
you
of
hang
it.
up, call 911. So we get that information so we can start going that
Yeah.
way. But we still have to get dispatched. So we tell them, look, just call 911 and take that step out. Cause you gotta call them anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So just, we want the public to be aware of that. We don't mind you calling and saying hi.
I'll talk to anybody.
If it's an emergency, please.
So 911's for.
And you don't even have to, I mean, we had a call the other night, it was on my shift, I was out on a call. And there was one stayed back, and they received a call, it's kind of funny. And, the dog, he wanted to know if something was wrong, because his dog was staring at the ceiling. Seriously, that's the call we got, and kind of just walked him through that scenario, and
You have ghosts.
everything was fine. But yeah, that's the kind of calls that we get, so we don't mind calling.
No, they don't know they talk fire.
Was that by
Yeah.
Jimmy? Was that by chance? Jimmy? Was that one by chance a Michigan resident?
No, it was.
Oh,
So
you,
yeah, so just please call 911. If you have an emergency instead of calling.
Okay.
The weather, we're getting prepared for that cold spell that's coming. Sounds like from Sunday to Wednesday or something, it could be like 30, some below zero after the wind chill.
Yeah.
So just prepare for that. Usually when that time of year hits, we get busier. Frozen pipes break, we find out big calls. It's not good for our trucks and our personnel. Last night was our first test on the weather, because it was cold. Everybody was iced over, thanks to the town. Called Yoder and had Wendell come out, or somebody come out with some salt, because North Bend Drive and North Division was a glare ice, because we were pulling off the hydrant there.
Oh.
And so we just didn't want anybody to wreck, so they got right on it. Wendell came out, took care of it for us. We had a little hydrant issue. Everybody's working together. Awesome. It's really nice. It just takes a phone call and everybody's on it. So, which is nice to have for sure. So just prepare for that weather. Please use caution when you're using those electric space heaters. A lot of them now, they fall over, they'll go off. Some people are still using the older ones. The older ones don't shut off, they burn. Right, so just use caution when you're doing that. Plug them directly into the outlet. Don't use extension cords. Power strip, plug them straight to that outlet, so that outlet pops if something happens. Make sure that you have plenty of room around that space heater as well. Want to set it up next to the wall, pile of boxes or newspaper or something like that. It will, over time, it will get hot enough and it'll start to burn. In the past, not so here in Bristol, but surrounding areas have had other fatal fires with the space heaters as well. So if you're gonna be out in cold, make sure you dress in those layers. It only takes a few minutes to get that frostbite. WNDU had a thing tonight on how long it takes when it's single digits or below zero. I think it was less than 5 minutes at single digits. Yeah, so just cover up, get in layers. Keep extra blankets in your car, stuff like that, in case you get stranded. Things don't want to work properly when it's cold, including ourselves. So, but if you have any questions, please feel free to call fire. Call the fire station. So,
Well, just to clarify, you said questions, not emergencies.
that's right, that's right. And then
Questions, not
here too, if you have an emergency, call 911.
There you go.
Did that on purpose, yeah.
Thank you for the great help that you've been giving Marshall and his crew, Yoder and his crew, for things, so. Other than that, that's the report.
Okay,
Russ.
thank you. Thank you, Jimmy. Anybody have questions for Chief Haynes? If not, thank you for all you do for us and just pray that you guys stay safe as well. I know it's gonna be a rough couple of days coming up, so hopefully you guys just stay in the house and don't have to go anywhere.
It sounds good.
Yeah, it does.
It sounds, yeah.
Sounds good, but the reality is we know it's gonna happen. So, okay. All right, park board. Who has a park, anybody have a park board report? Miss Linda's not here.
I included the minutes in the packet
Okay,
from their December meeting.
okay. All right, next up, we're gonna have Alex, what do you have for us tonight?
Two things for you this evening, council. The first is resolution 116-2025-2, which is a resolution of the town council of the town of Bristol, Indiana, approving and amending declaratory resolution of the Bristol Redevelopment Commission and or of the Elkhart County Plan Commission. As the council will recall, the RDC back on December 19th adopted that declaratory resolution to amend the State Road 15 Economic Development Area. That process then goes before the Elkhart County Plan Commission. The Plan Commission at their January meeting approved that declaratory resolution, which now comes back before the council for the council to approve. So with the council's affirmative adoption of this resolution, the State Road 15 Economic Development Area will have been amended to include the Stoll property.
Okay.
That's the long and short of it. Happy to answer any questions. My recommendation is to adopt the resolution as proposed.
Okay. There a motion to adopt the resolution 1-16-2025-2.
Make that motion.
Okay, motion by Greg,
I'll second.
second by Doug, open for discussion. No further discussion, take a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Rick DeHolsky,
Yes.
and Jeff Beechey's yes, motion carries.
Thank you, council. The second item I have for this evening is ordinance number 1-16-2025-1, which is an ordinance of the town council of the town of Bristol, amending chapter 76 of the town of Bristol, Indiana Code of Ordinances to prohibit parking along a certain portion of Commerce Drive within the boundaries of the town. This comes before you this evening on second reading. As the caption implies, this is an ordinance to declare Commerce Drive between State Road 15 and Blakesley Parkway as a no parking zone to eliminate some of the concern about, I believe it's primarily commercial vehicles that are parking along that strip. So this declares this to be a no parking area. Certainly it's well within the council's authority to declare such, and it directs the marshal both by ordinance and through the existing code to erect signage accordingly. Happy to answer any questions. Again, this is before you on second reading, so a motion to enact on second reading this ordinance would be appropriate.
Okay,
I make a motion, we adopt on second reading, to adopt the ordinance 1-16-2025-1, amending chapter 76 of the town of Bristol ordinances.
okay, motion by Kathy,
I'll second.
second by Greg, open for discussion. No further discussion, take a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Greg DeHolsky.
Yes.
And Jeff Beechey's yes, motion carries.
Thank you, council. That's all I have for this.
Okay, thank you, Alex. Anybody have anything for Alex? Okay. You guys still see a lot of trucks parked out there?
I checked today, I did not see trucks, but it's kind of sporadic, depends how busy the truck stop is.
Okay.
we get other trucks that are parked on there when they're offloading from the semi with the other businesses to the east, so this will help eliminate some of that or help us enforce that.
Okay. All right. Next item on the agenda is gonna be public comment. Privilege of the floor. Is anybody in the room this evening? Well, is there anybody here that would like to make public comment? If so, please step up to the microphone. Okay, seeing no takers, we will move on to town council discussion items. Anything tonight, Doug?
I have nothing.
Kathy, anything tonight?
Yeah, I have something. As you know, I wasn't here on Tuesday, but I was listening to what was going on. And I did have a comment about the maintenance building. I know you were talking about different options and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think if we have enough square footage and property there, that we can modify that building to appropriately, the building we have now to appropriately accommodate what we need. I'm not sure of the acreage or whatever you want to call it, area that the property is now compared to what you may be looking at. That's other questions that I had down the road. But I'd like to see the fact that we, work with what we have.
Oh, yeah, we're full. We're overflowing now.
Yeah,
We got expensive equipment sitting outside.
Yeah, but I'm saying, modify the building, but I didn't know if you have enough acreage or anything. See, those were
Right.
questions I wanted to
Yeah,
ask.
my
and I
comment, Kathy, wasn't for the town use, it was for the hub, as a potential location for the hub.
Oh.
My question was,
Okay,
could we modify the building for something that the hub could possibly use?
okay,
Not
that
for,
makes
not for the
sense.
town, because
That makes sense.
as Mike said, we're way beyond our
I must have heard,
capacity
yeah,
there.
that's what I thought, because I thought the acreage may be not enough.
Yeah,
If we wanted to expand, but, I didn't hear the part about the hub, and I do know that they need
yeah.
some
Yeah, I
kind of
was-
storage area.
I was thinking more for the hub, so, but it doesn't sound like that would work because
I don't think so.
there wouldn't be enough parking for them.
No, but it's a great idea. So if, I'm waiting on a couple more phone calls and a little bit more discussion, but we may in February have an executive session to talk about real estate purchases and some options
Okay,
for the street department. There's two interesting options that
Okay.
will allow us to, one of them would allow us to work with, if that building would work. So
Oh.
if the building,
I don't know if it would work.
no, well,
It's
you don't know
quite
the
high
site,
and-
you don't know the site.
Oh, that one, okay,
There's another site that
okay,
none of you are aware of yet.
okay.
Top secret.
I'll go ask Chris tomorrow.
At least at the moment.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
That's all I got.
Greg, anything?
Nothing.
Okay. And I don't have anything else, so. Next meeting will be February 6th, the council meeting.
That's my birthday.
Well, happy birthday.
Right.
I'll be 75.
No,
I'll be 75 on February 6th.
well, happy birthday ahead of time.
Thank you.
And
If
we'll
I
be
make
doing
it
the-
to it.
Well, at least you're optimistic. And that'll be Baker Tilly analysis for the Main Street property options.
They were supposed to have that ready for a work session. I guess it's a good thing they didn't, because that was a lengthy, long enough that
Yeah.
night.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Greg, second by Kathy, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, everybody. Stay warm out there.